Hello, and welcome to How It Works. The innate damage block, or plain old stout shield, is a mechanic that used to be an item. For 200 gold, if you are a melee hero, you would get a 50% chance to block 16 damage from auto attacks. Eventually, IceFrog or Valve decided that all melee heroes should have this damage block innately, and so now we do. However, I did not see anywhere in game that you can read about this damage block, so I think it's worth a mention that all melee heroes have this innate 50% chance of blocking 16 damage. The first wave on the side lanes has been pulled and harassed for so long throughout Dota history that now you cannot aggro it until it reaches the tower. This seems like useless trivia. However, if you are playing Shaker and block the enemy wave level 1, you will ensure that the enemy lane pushes into yours because your first wave will die on their tower. You might think this is pointless, but if both pools are blocked, this pretty much ensures that the lane will be close to your tower. You can also do this to your own wave, and it is also possible to do this, although less effectively, as Tusk with shards and Clock with cogs. Trees in Dota have been through a lot of changes, but the most recent one, being in 7.29, is that they became a lot harder to get rid of. Mainly that almost every spell that used to destroy trees either stopped destroying them, or destroys them a lot less, thus buffing heroes that interact with trees, such as Tree and Protector, Wind Ranger, Hoodwink, Mars, and so on. So this is more of a trivia. The trees actually respawn pretty fast, at every 3 minutes. Do you wonder why Tiny always one-shots your courier throughout the game? No matter what role he is, even as a boss 5, he'd do it. It is pretty insane, but there are two reasons for this. One, Tiny does have a pretty high right-click damage throughout the game. And two, flying couriers take 50% extra damage from melee heroes, so even though your courier ends up having 200 plus HP at some point, Tiny and a lot of melee heroes can one-shot it pretty easily. I remember watching How to Be a Better Mid from Tsunami many years ago, and it was the first time someone put a term to what a lot of players were doing. It maybe wasn't him who coined the term, but that's where I learned it from. Anyway, aggro has changed a bit since then, so let's talk about that. Creep aggro has pretty much stayed the same. The only thing that might be different is the cooldown of aggro, which I couldn't find a source for except Dota Wiki, which says that it's 3 seconds. However, I am not certain if that's true, and I don't know how to check if it is, so we have to believe the wiki. But there are some other things of note that I myself didn't know until recently checking and testing things in a lobby. Towers pretty much follow the same rules as creeps do when it comes to aggro. But that's where this gets weird. Towers have a 500 aggro range, same as creeps, even though they have a 700 attack range. So if you hit someone in a tower range of 501, you will not draw aggro, and can keep hitting them as much as you want. This means that you can hit an enemy hero on their tower as much as you want as long as there are creeps there and you don't go inside the 500 aggro range. Other than that, one honorable mention is that while spells do not draw aggro, if you have auto attack after casting a spell command on, and you cast a spell when the closest enemy to you is a hero, then you will draw aggro. Now the cooldown might be up and it might take the tower a second or two to start hitting you, but it will. I've been confused about this many times throughout my Dota games, so I'm glad I finally figured out why it happens. Anyway, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and bye!